So yeah, I'm so tired of trying. So I work in a hotel, just like this, yeah, and I actually am a receptionist. So I usually have a desk like this, yeah. But I have a passion. I love I love philosophy. Like for 6 or more years, I've been totally passionate of every book and everything that I've read about it, and that's my shit, I guess. But I always wanted to study in Oxford, like Harvard and Cambridge and all these big schools, because living out of the study would be just amazing. I could focus. But I have something that's it's not victimizing, but I have something that's dyslexia, um, dyslexic, and it's fucked up because like you write wrong, and it's it just makes everything a bit harder. Um, so yeah, that's the thing I have. But yeah, all the tests that I tried, like I always get under average scores, and it's just hard to write because it's always going to be problems there, mistakes. Uh, it's just not victimizing. Again, it's just a reality. And I was asking myself, oh, why? The beginning was hard and shit, but then I started doing my own way. So all the money I got from reception and stuff, I started buying my books, invested only in my books. And at the beginning, like 4 or 5 years ago, I used to do notes from all the books I've read. A lot of notes. This was 2017, and yeah, they were a bit bad at the time. This was a bit later. Then yeah, more notes. I used to also start doing like reflections and shit, formulas also, as you can see, and they were getting better, but they were not bringing that much thing. So I started using an app to really focus on my study. I put the time, I put the graphs, and I analyzed. Every single free time I had in my day, I was studying. If it was in the tram, if it was before getting home, if it was at night, morning, or lunch pause, I was always studying. And then I came up with a better way to use my notes. I created this. This was like 2 years ago, I guess, and it's from all the books that I've read. Um, if you go up here, left. So these are all the books that I've read, for philosophy books, until now. Most of them were also online, but now I read mostly from Oxford. They are a bit more expensive, but the introduction and the translation are really good. This is the first formula I created. Very bad. Not doesn't make that much sense. The second one, a bit confusing. Doesn't make that much sense either. But it was nice seeing that I didn't need to write a text. I could just create formulas. As you can see, I created formulas, and then I put like the name and the page so that I can have a reference to where I took that from, like not from my head. And I reference each word there. And it was working quite well because I didn't need to write like a lot. I could just organize my thoughts and my reflections in words and in a small format. This was Plato and Socrates. It was fucking hard. I really love this formula. Aristotle was also very cool. Again, I was. You can see also the formulas developing, getting more complex, getting more, yeah, more deep into the thought of the philosopher. There was a lot of process into it, a lot of hours and hours and hours, days even. So you can see we are also going chronologically, and each formula I tried to value the thoughts of the philosopher. I tried to capture the essence of it, and in a way that I could do it, and I could use it again. Yeah, this is when the Stoics. Then because at the beginning I didn't give that much space for the philosopher words in the formula, but afterwards I saw it was important for when I was using it again. So you can see there is more text in the formulas starting there. I think that's 2019 or 18. Yeah, it was getting there were more texts there. And then when we get to Boetius, yeah, then it's a lot more text and very easy for me to capture the essence of it and use it again. Yeah, that was much better. And I also started reading classical books because I thought it was missing in my studies, and I put some classical books here as well, and I organized them in formula as well. Much easier for me to understand the books like that, and yeah, writing each one of them in those package formulas for me to use as references. Yeah, Fyodor Dostoevsky and all of them, and Hermann Hesse. Yeah, but then I saw that, yeah, and Shakespeare as well. Yeah, all of them. But then I saw that was just like a resume. It's not doing something different. So I wanted to play with those formulas, and I started doing this. And the idea of that is because I found subjects inside those books. Of all those books, on the left, the philosophical, and then the classics. On the right, I put color, and I thought topics that were repeating themselves, like talking about human, who are they? And then I mixed all the philosophers and the classical books in one subject. So self-help, all the types of different approaches that all those philosophers and classical books have to self-help, and I mix them together. And it's sometimes very interesting because it's almost like one of them disagrees with the other, and it's an interesting conversation. The mind, this mind topic is so cool because, yeah, it's just so complex and so deep inside the subject. And you can see God, happiness, emotions, minds, suicides, and memory, justice. There's so many topics that are so interesting to dive into. Yeah, that's it. And I do this because I love, and I'm just tired because I don't want to be a receptionist forever, and I don't want. I wanted to do this every day, every hour. I want to just breathe philosophy and breathe those formulas and see where it takes me. But how? So that's the video. That's why I make this video. I want to see if you guys have any tips. Any way of me doing this every day. Because if I could do this every day, I don't know. Because if I could do this every day, I'm sure I could do so much more with those formulas. I could dive so much deeper. It's just time and money. Those two, yeah. So yeah, that's the intention of this video, for me to gather information on how to solve this, because yeah, I want to do this for my life, and any help, any advice would be appreciated, because then I can better, yeah, maybe have more time to it and do what I love. That's it.